if you watch the AWA in the 1980s, every once in a while, they would make reference to, one of the announcers would talk about Polish Joe in the truck. Polish Joe's not in the truck, he's sitting in front of us right now, but this is Joe Chupik, and Joe was a TV production ace for the AWA, even that wonderful taping we did in Whitewater, Wisconsin.
Oh, please.
Remember that one? We'll talk about that, but Joe, you've got a question.
Okay, so Paul, going on that last tag team match, of the four, who is the loosest cannon?
Oh, well, that's a pick'em.
I'm guessing loose cannon. Yeah, I mean, not in the ring, but
well, in the ring, but in the venue itself, it was Brody. Yeah, Brody was wild. But I mean, as far as the loosest cannon in the ring, it was Hawk.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree, a lot of teams came down the pike over the years that tried to emulate the Road Warriors. You know, even Demolition, whoever it was never to be duplicated. I mean, so many of them tried, and you had Heidenreich in there, and who else they threw into the mix. But boy, I tell you, they set a bar that will never be equal. Totally changed the business. Speaking of guys that changed the business, Steve Olszanowski, I want to know how a guy goes from teaming up with Evan Johnson and Paul Ellering over the years, and the next thing you know, you're a ninja working with Larry Zbyszko and a hood. How the hell did that happen?
First of all, I got to tell the story about Chicago. So we're wrestling against the Road Warriors in Chicago. It's Buck and I. And so we're supposed to be the good guys. And then they cheered us a little bit when they came to the ring. And then after we got to the ring, out come the Road Warriors. And then from Chicago. And the music starts. And I'm getting goosebumps. Because I know I'm going to get my ass whooped. So I'm getting ready to jump out of the ring. And I said, okay, Buck, you start. There was nobody bigger in real life and in persona than a Road Warrior when they were on the game. And it's probably because of you.
No, you really, I mean, people don't realize, I mean, you were a real life manager. You weren't just a fictitious manager for these guys. You handled a lot of their business as well.
Yeah, I did. You know, for 3 years there, in the 80s, wrestling went through that transition from you had the three major territories, the NWA and the WWE and then the AWA. And then in the middle 80s, it was going through the wrestling wars, I call it. So we would, I told Vern when we left the NWA, and this was really unusual because Vern broke me in. So I'm like, no, I'm the puppy, and Vern is the big dog. And now I gotta call Vern, and I gotta say to Vern, okay, we want to come up there, and he knows what we're about, and we're going to come in there, but this is the way we're going to do it. And that took a little bit because Vern was like, Gad. And I said, okay, now Vern, this is the way we want to do it. If it works for you, then we'll do it that way. We want to work for you, but we also want to work for the NWA, and we want to work for Japan, and we want to work for any independents that are out there. WWE, you couldn't go in there then. Vince wouldn't do it that way. And Vern said, okay. And so that's where we came in. That was history. That was big because we worked for everybody. And we called our own shots. I set up all the planes. I set up all the different promoters. And we'd sit down at the beginning of every month and we'd have a calendar and we'd just decide what days we wanted to work and what days we didn't. Yeah, it was really unique.
It's amazing when somebody can kind of dictate to Vern how things are going to go.
So Wally Carbo calls me up. So Larry Zabisco had the ninja guy. He was actually a guy from Japan. And so he went into a weekend swing with Milwaukee, Green Bay, and Chicago, but he didn't come out of there. They lost him. They couldn't find him. So it's a ninja. So they needed a replacement ninja. So they called me up, and Wally says, "We need you to do this, we need you to do that, and oh yeah, by the way, bring your ninja outfit." I'm like, what? So we're in San Francisco, and every ninja should have a super secret ninja powder, very securely, fastened on your body, because you might need it at some point in time in the match. So I'm with Zabisco, he's wrestling Snuka. When Snuka climbs up to the top rope, seemed like a good time to break out the super secret ninja powder and throw in his eyes. But what had happened before that was that several fans had threw beers on him. And it got into the super secret ninja powder, and it made it like dope. It doesn't quite have the same effect. So when I threw it at him, Snuka's looking at me like, "What'd you just do?" So I had to grab a rope and choke the crap out of him. But, ninjas are very, crappy. So you get paid better than being a good guy.
The ninja for very long ago, as I recall.
How do you know he's not up?
Oh, good. We got a question.